Imagine it, the wind howling, snow slicing through the air, and the cold biting to your core. No heated homes, no rescue coming, just you, your clothes, and the relentless winter. This is not a weekend adventure. It's a months-long battle for survival. For centuries, indigenous peoples of North America faced this reality and mastered it. Where most saw a death sentence, they saw a landscape full of answers. They read the wind, the snowdrifts, and the animals, turning knowledge into survival. It wasn't about brute force. It was about skill, respect, and mental toughness. Every move mattered. One mistake, and the wilderness claimed another life. Survival demanded calm, focus, and trust in the wisdom passed down through generations. Panic was the real killer. Knowledge was the shield. These were not just survivors. They were masters of the cold. They turned the blizzard from an enemy into a teacher. Their secret: preparation, observation, and an unbreakable will. In the heart of the storm, they found not just endurance, but mastery. Survival in the harshest places is never luck. It's the result of centuries of learning. For indigenous peoples, knowledge was their greatest tool, passed down like a living library. Each winter brought new lessons: how to insulate a shelter, dry meat, or track game. Successes and failures alike became stories, warnings and wisdom for the next generation. This wasn't just about fire or food. It was about understanding the land's every detail. They knew which trees sheltered best, where the sun warmed the ground, and how animals survived. Their preparation began long before the first snow fell. Gear helps, but knowledge is what keeps you alive. The mind, armed with ancestral wisdom, is the ultimate survival tool. Their legacy proves that observation, memory, and shared experience are the keys to enduring the cold. Choosing a winter camp was a life-or-death decision, rooted in deep knowledge of land and weather. The Lakota sought river valleys and wooded coulees, natural windbreaks, firewood, and water sources. Scouts read the land for shelter, resources, and game, planning for the entire season. The Haudenosaunee built longhouses on elevated ground near water, surrounded by managed forests for firewood and game. Their villages balanced defense, warmth, and resource access. The Mandan and others built earth lodges on high bluffs, combining safety, fertile gardens, and shelter. Every site was chosen with precision: defense, warmth, and survival in mind. These choices were not random. They were the result of generations of strategic planning. Survival was a science blending geography, ecology, and ingenuity. The winter camp was the foundation of life through the coldest months. Indigenous winter shelters were marvels of engineering, designed for warmth and resilience. The plains teepee, with its conical shape and inner hide lining, trapped heat and blocked wind. Adjustable smoke flaps and banked bases made it adaptable to any storm. In the east, Haudenosaunee longhouses used overlapping bark and shared fires for communal warmth. Their curved roofs shed snow, and their size created a stable, warm environment. The Mandan Earth Lodge, semi-subterranean and covered in thick earth, stayed warm with minimal fire. Entry tunnels acted as airlocks, keeping the cold at bay. These structures were not just shelters, they were fortresses against winter. Every detail, from insulation to ventilation, was honed by generations. Ingenious design turned the harshest environments into livable homes. In deadly cold, clothing is survival technology. Indigenous winterwear was a layered system: soft, breathable buckskin close to the skin, heavy bison robes outside. Breathability prevented sweat from freezing, while fur and hide blocked wind and trapped heat. Bison robes shed snow and stayed warm even when wet, far superior to European wool. Moccasins, lined with grass or fur, kept feet warm and flexible, unlike stiff European boots. Hoods trimmed with wolverine or wolf fur resisted frost, and beaver mittens combined grip and warmth. Every piece was the result of generations of trial and error. This clothing allowed people to hunt, travel, and thrive in brutal conditions. It was a second skin, adapted perfectly to the environment. Survival wasn't just possible, it was sustainable and active. Shelter and clothing mean nothing without food, fuel for the body's furnace. Indigenous winter diets relied on preserved high-energy foods and deep knowledge of hunting and foraging. Pemmican was the ultimate survival food: dried meat, rendered fat, and berries, packed for years of storage. Making pemmican was a science, every step designed for nutrition and longevity. Agricultural tribes raced to harvest and store the Three Sisters corn, beans, and squash. These crops, dried and stored, provided balanced nutrition all winter. The combination of protein, fat, and vitamins kept communities strong through the lean months. Food wasn't just about staving off hunger. It was a calculated strategy for health and endurance. Planning and preservation were the bedrock of winter survival. Foresight and preparation turned scarcity into resilience. Indigenous winter survival isn't just history, it's a living lesson in preparation and respect. They didn't fight the winter, they learned from it, adapting to its rhythms. Their greatest gear was knowledge of shelter, clothing, food, and the land itself. Modern survivalists echo these lessons: layering, energy foods, and environmental awareness. The wisdom of the past is the foundation of today's best practices. True survival is about mental toughness, community, and adaptability. It's about sharing resources, enduring hardship, and never giving up. The real technology was in their minds and their unity. Their resilience is a reminder our greatest asset is our will to endure and adapt. When stripped of comforts, it's knowledge and grit that see us through. Now imagine yourself at the edge of the wild, the wind rising, the sky darkening. Will you see a wasteland or a world of resources and solutions? Indigenous knowledge is not just history, it's a survival manual for today. The teepee, the earth lodge, the bison robe, these are blueprints for resilience. Survival is about what you know, not what you carry. Learn to read the land, build shelter, find food, and make fire. Practice these skills until they're second nature. One day you may need them, when there's no rescue, only your wits and preparation. The wilderness is the ultimate test, and the ancestors have shown the way. Now it's your turn to survive. Get out there and prove it.